Welcome. My name is Moises Reyes, and I am going to talk about The Lady or the Tiger. What do you think? Well, this story was written by Frank Stankan. It is important to point out that this person liked writing for kids. I would like to start by introducing the characters. We had a semi-barbaric king, we had the princess, we had the beautiful lady, and we had the lover. In the old time, there was a semi-barbaric king who had authority, and he had weird ways to punish people. And when he agreed about something, everybody had to agree with him. As a proof of his barbarism, we had the King's Arena. What was the King's Arena? The King's Arena was made not for telling stories, it was not made for telling rhapsodies. The King's Arena was not made for sharing thinking about religion. No, it was made for people that committed a crime. And what kind of crime? It had to be of high importance to the king. It had to be a high interest to the king. And when that happened, many people used to gather in the galleries, and the king was in his throne. The accused subject was opposite the king, and there were two doors. Those doors were alike, and one door had a tiger, and the other door had a lady. How come? Well, this is really funny, but at the same time, it was like the way in which people had to pay for committing crime. And if a person opened the door where the lady was, that person had to get married with the lady immediately. And it didn't matter if the person had a wife, it didn't matter if the person had children or a family, no, it didn't matter. And the person opened the other door, obviously, that person was eaten by a tiger. And it was said that those tigers had the best cages in the world by that time. And well, the king has a daughter, and she was a princess. She was beautiful, and she had expensive things. She was in love with a brave man, a man who was really handsome, and the princess had love for him. They both loved each other, but they had like a hidden relationship. But when the king noticed about it, he was really angry. And the king sent the boy to prison. Then the king sent the boy to the king's arena. So in that day, the boy could change his life or he could die. The princess was really worried about it. She was nervous because she didn't want the boy to die, nor she didn't want the boy to be married with another woman, right? And something really important to point out in here is that the princess was the only one who knew where the lady was and where the tiger was. Besides, the princess knew who was the lady that was going to be behind that door the day of his lover um, would be sentenced to that. In that case, the lady was someone really beautiful. Besides, she had attractions for the boy that was accused. And one day, the princess saw them talking each other for a long time, and she was jealous, and at the same time she was really afraid. In the event, many people assembled, and everybody wanted to participate just by arranging some things, but they wanted to be in the function. And the king was in his throne. The princess was sitting next to the king, and the accused subject was walking to the king's arena. Everybody was like really nervous, their heart was beating fast, and they didn't know what was going to happen in there. And when the boy was there, he was looking at the princess and he was asking for help because he knew that the princess knew where the lady was, and the boy didn't want to die. But they didn't want to deny their love. That's why the boy was accused to be there. Then the boy was looking at the princess, and the princess noticed that the boy was making an eye contact with her. And they both started looking at each other and they became one. And the princess raised her hand and she directed her hand to the right one. So the boy started walking to the right door and he opened the right door. And the story ended in here. So we don't know what happened later. We don't know in which door the lady was, or we don't know where the tiger was. No, we didn't know anything about it, but we need to reflect about it. In my case, if I were in the position, I would not let my Valentine to die, because if I love the person, I don't want the person to be dead. I don't want that. Even though that person has to be with another person with, it doesn't matter at all. If we love someone, sometimes we have to let those people go away. We are looking for them to be alright. And something that caught my attention in here is the king. Why? Because he had authority. And let's think about it. We're not that much in order to sentence someone to death, no? Because in that time it would be like a death penalty because the person that was accused, if the person opened the door where the tiger was, obviously that person was gonna be eaten by the tiger. So, and there were not reasons because the boy was just in love with the girl, and that is normal, right? So, I think that the king had too much authority, and it shouldn't be like that. I know that it is so rough. Nowadays, there are crimes that must be paid with those kind of sentence or death penalty, like killing people or raping girls. But I think it is not acceptable to send someone to in order to die just because that person committed a crime like that. No, that it shouldn't be possible. Okay, this has been everything for me. Thank you very much.